Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعملوا آل داود شكرا وقليل من عبادي الشكور. The translation is to Al Daud, the family of David. Allah says to them, do good deeds and be thankful. And then he mentions that few are thankful. So in today's lesson, I'm directing my advice to both the Palestinians and the Israelis because there's been too much violence. And now, recently, there's occurring a flag problem. It seems as though the Palestinians were marching with their flag and the settlers attacked them. And the flag that they're carrying is what they're asking for. Now let's concentrate on that point as we continue. The flag of Israel is the flag, they call it the Star of David. The star is a six-pointed blue star on a white background. And it is signifying their warrior king, King David. In Arabic, it's Dawood. He is well known to both Christians, Jews, and also Muslims because his story is in the Bible. As a Catholic schoolgirl, we learned about David and Goliath, and he was supposedly a young man, maybe a teen, maybe even younger, who put a rock in a slingshot and killed the most dangerous enemy. However, we don't have any proof of that in the Quran. But the story is recorded in the Bible, and regarding the stories of other than Prophet Muhammad, we say we don't believe, we don't disbelieve. We have a neutral stance, could be true, maybe not. But let's talk now about what Quran says about David and Goliath. David is called Dawood, and Goliath is called Jalut. And Quran and Surah Al-Baqarah relates a fight. And the fight has David as victorious. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وهزموهم بإذن الله وقتل داود جالوت وآتاه الله الملك والحكمة وعلمه مما يشاء ولولا دفع الله الناس بعضهم ببعض لفسدت الأرض ولكن الله ذو فضل على العالمين. Here Allah tells us that hazamu, it means they really beat them. Who beat them? Biiznillah, it was Dawood. By the permission of Allah, David was able to hazamu the army of Goliath. Whether or not he was young or old, slingshot or not, Quran tells us that David beat a gigantic enemy, biiznillah. Now, we know in Islam that when you make an invocation, you ask for Allah's help. You have to be obeying Allah while you're doing this. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So, obviously, David, King David, we know him as a very capable and just ruler at this time. And that is why Allah allowed him to kill the enemy. Now, this verse goes on to say that if Allah had not caused some to be victorious over others, there would be corruption in the earth. And it's a general statement in Surah Al-Baqarah of how Allah determines who's going to win. So now that we know that the flag is the flag of David, and David won, let's speak about current events. Would David be proud of what's happening in the land now? Would he agree? Would he acknowledge that this is a just fight occurring between Palestinians and Israelis? It's important we all look in the mirror. We all have to face what we're doing of injustice and lack of mercy. And that's why I'm concentrating on the concept of mercy, beginning my lessons after a long hiatus. We have to have mercy, and that means to recognize the position of everyone, whether we like it or not. And we have to be able to deal, starting with ourselves, in mercy, meaning do not do anything knowingly to cause the other to feel pain. You have to avoid this because Allah tells us that mercy will not be given to those who don't show mercy. So now let us observe once again what is happening in light of history and in light of the fact that David is referred to in the Quran as the Caliph. Yes, the Khalifa, it's an Arabic word. He is referred to as a ruler who ruled by the will of Allah according to the commands of Allah. And this is now a very pointed issue because the Israelis, they say that the Masjid al-Aqsa is built upon the temple, the Ma'abad of Suleiman. Although until now there is no archaeological evidence to support this, but that is what they are claiming, and that's part of the issue. The issue is authority on the land. Whose land is it? But you know, Allah says in the Quran that the ones who fight in His cause, لا يريدون علوا في الأرض ولا فسادا, they do not want to be uppermost in the land, and they don't want corruption. In the next lesson, we are going to concentrate on Allah's giving not only authority in war, but knowledge to His prophet, warrior, king, David.